holding tight, can you see it? Streaming the truth live from where they decree it. Sylvia speaks, no filter, no buffer. Courtroom drama couldn't get any tougher.
When the gavel's first bang, to the witness stands tears. Sylvia's lens captures all your hopes and fears. Uploading justice one trial at a time. Tune in every moment, edges sublime.
Welcome to the Sylvia Show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show. Welcome to the Sylvia Show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show. Faces tell stories, the courtroom can't hide. Sylvia's insights cut through the divide. From jury talks to the lawyer's secret. In Sylvia's world, you know you'll need it. Behind the scenes where whispers are loud, her lens reveals the truth in the crowd. Courtroom secrets laid bare to see. Stay curious with Sylvia Spree. Every objection, every sharp retort, Sylvia's there to give you the report. Exclusive footage no one else can snag. From catchy headlines straight to the tag. Welcome to the Sylvia Show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show. Welcome to the Sylvia Show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show.
Places.
Oh, I need some earrings on. Hey guys, welcome to the infamous Sylvia channel. I definitely need some earrings on, don't I? Let me put. I need to cover my ears. Realized I didn't have any earrings on. Just looked at my face. I was like, oh, I don't have any earrings on. Hold on a second, y'all. I gotta get some earrings on my ear. Speak to everybody while we wait. All right, let's Let me play some music for you guys while we wait. Just hold on a second.
Stealing and Adams on the stage tonight, with Matthews and his son by his side. Harvey and Westmoreland stand tight, Shart and Weinstein in the light. Dream team lawyers never miss a beat, fighting hard, they bring the heat. In the courtroom they take the lead, for justice they sow the seed. Rocks with wisdom in his stare, YSL trust because they care. Day and night their burden share. Never.
All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to get some earrings on my ear because my ears look naked. So, hey guys, how are you guys doing? I came back to give you guys some updates, some 411 and things like that. You guys, you know that Mr. Williams, Jeffrey Williams, has a brother, an older brother, who is currently at Rice Street. He was placed in incarceration last year, and he had applied for bond back in June, and He was denied bond. And then when the original prosecutor that was on the case came back and she wanted to give him bond, the judge at the time, Judge Bennett, decided that she was going to stick her gun with not giving him a bond because the previous prosecutor said he was a risk to society, a danger to society, and a risk of flight. So they turned around and denied him bond. Okay. Most recently, they changed attorneys, and he has Mr. Steele as an attorney. So Mr. Steele has submitted a request for a bond back in December 30th, 2024. And based on Georgia's law, every 90 days, within 90 days of a person being incarcerated, they're supposed to go for bond. They're entitled to get a bond. So Mr. Steele put in another request for the bond back in December. And yet, as of March 1st, there has not been a bond hearing for him because the last time he had got a denial for a bond was back in June. So 90 days from June, he was entitled to come back for another bond, right? Another bond hearing, but they did not do the bond hearing. So we are here now, and he is at Rice Street. Now, here's the problem. Mr. King is his name, Gregory King. Mr. King is deaf, and he doesn't speak. He's mute. And based on the findings of the DOJ, they're saying that Rice Street is not a place for somebody in his condition, right? He has a disability. And even if everything was straight okay at Rice Street, there's not anybody in the facility who is able to do sign language or able to give a directive to him and for him to be able to understand. That I didn't say dead. I said death. Death. Mute. And I didn't say death. He's death. Thank you. There we go, right there. That's what I said. He can't speak and he can't hear. I said death. Death. So, I mean, folks, why do people come in here and do that kind of stuff? You know what I meant. I wouldn't even mention anything about him if he was dead. Well, anyway, I apologize if y'all can't understand my dialect and how I say things. I'm from a different area and a different dialect, and some of you guys may not understand me too well, but it's okay. I hope you understand that he can't hear and he can't speak. Okay, let's put it that way. He can't hear, he can't speak. So with him having those disability, it's a problem being at Rice Street because Rice Street does not have the capacity to be able to help someone in his condition, meaning that they're not equipped people who has education of sign language or even know how to communicate with somebody who is in that condition, right? And DOJ did submit a report about individuals with disability, those that are under age of 17, underage individual and things like that. They did say that there are certain things. Ray, I'm gonna ignore you because you're asking a question that's not even necessary. You need to go ask his family how they talk. Of course, most likely they know how to talk to him because they have learned sign language. I can guarantee you that. So I'm gonna ignore you because you want to come in here and disrupt me and cause me not to stay focused on what I'm bringing. Let me just bring the information. I'm gonna ignore you right now. Back to what I was saying, the facility does not have that type of ability to help somebody that has disability. Okay. Now, because they have not done what they're supposed to. I'm talking about Fulton County and Fulton County jails and stuff like that. Um, they had every 90 days they're supposed to be able to come back and apply for a bond. Okay, Mr. Steele on December 30th applied for a bond, and as of this date today, no bond hearing has been set. And I'm going to go ahead and bring that over to you guys. Just 1 second. All right, let me go ahead and share this with you. All right, as you guys see this is Mr. Steele request a motion for a bond. It was on December 30th. Motion for a bond. Now come defendant Gregory King by and through undersigned counsel and hereby files this motion for bond pursuant to OCGA 17-6-1. In support of this motion for a bond, Mr. King shows as follows. 1. Mr. King was arrested and charged concerning the above referenced case and is in custody at the Fulton County Jail without bond. 2. Mr. King meets all of the Alea versus State factors and thus requests that a reasonable bond be set. Number 3, Mr. King respectively requests that this statutory right to a pretrial bond be granted. Wherefore, Mr. King respectively requests a hearing on this motion and at the conclusion of said hearing requests that a reasonable bond be set by this honorable court. And that was the 27th day of December 2024 by Mr. Brian Steele, attorney for Mr. King. Okay, he submitted this request back in December for Mr. King to get a bond. He also referenced Supreme Court ruling Alea versus State, and that ruling basically says that everybody's entitled to a bond, and gave reason that basically the state has to prove why this person is not bondable if he or she is a risk of fleeing, if he's a threat to the community, if he committed any other crime since the last time he's been there, has he intimidated any witness? I mean, is he capable of intimidating any witnesses, right? And basically that the burden of evidence has to be on the state. So the state has to prove why he's supposedly a threat to society. Well, during his hearing for the first request for the bond back in June last year, the previous prosecutor, not the one originally that was on the case, the one that came on as a substitute, she claimed she tried to bring in Mr. Williams' case, the YSL case, saying that he's basically part of YSL, the gang, right? That's what they said regarding to Mr. King, right? So that was one of supposedly reasons why they decide that he was a risk and that he was a threat to society, and he was not able to come back into community. Okay, so this bond hearing has not been set forth, and we're at almost 3 months past since that motion was submitted, right? Now, the trial is supposed to start on Monday. Monday is supposedly the trial date for this case, and it's supposed to be another RICO with 14 different gang charges, right? And here is what we have here for the trial notice. And it says here that notice to attend in person jury trial. The attached jury calendar shall run. This is the time frame, but they're saying the trial is supposed to go from March 3rd until April 25th, 2025, right? So without a bond hearing, without the other motions that were submitted, I'm going to show you the motions that were submitted. They're supposed to be starting trial on Monday. You guys remember a couple of days ago, I did a reporting on the judge, that she's the judge, and remember some of the things that we talked about, what they're saying that she was in violations of, basically not completing a judgment or writing a final order on different cases and things like that. It's like things just sit around and nothing's being done. And it looks like this is the same type of case that's going on with Mr. King. A motion was filed for a bond, and nothing has been done. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Even motions that were supposed to have been taken care of has not been done. Hey, Jackie. Nothing has been done. So, and you already know the judicial has already filed 15 charges against this judge for not addressing and completing things that needs to be done as far as cases for individuals, which is violation of individuals' rights, right? So you see here that this trial is supposed to go forth on the 3rd, which is Monday. And I'm going to show you something else. Hold on a second. Let me stop sharing this for a minute. And I want to show you what Mr. Steele had submitted recently in regard to different motions that were not addressed. Okay, hold on. That's the immunity. Because he submitted a motion for immunity, right? The other guy, hold on a second. Let me just stop this from sharing for a second. Okay, here's this one here. Hold on. Okay, let me go ahead and pull this up. Okay, Mr. Steele had submitted this motion here, basically telling her there's a conflict of this is on the 24th of February. There's a conflict because Mr. Steele has other trials that has started and that will begin, so he will not be able to be at trial on that date. But let me just go ahead on and read to you what Mr. Steele submitted. On February 24th, Mr. Steele sent this email to the judge, and it says, State of Georgia versus Gregory King Jr., and it gives the indictment number. Dear Judge Williams, I hope that all is well with you and your honorable court, always. I am writing to your honorable court on behalf of my client, Mr. Gregory King Jr. In the above referenced case, as known, your honorable court has tentatively set Mr. King's trial to commence in March 2025. Please note that there are outstanding motions. You hear right there, y'all? Outstanding motion. Specifically, there we go. a motion for bond, as well as a motion for additional discovery. Further, the prosecution recently provided additional discovery on this case. Moreover, please note that I am set to commence trial in the following cases on the following date during the months of March 2025 and as well April 2025. Then he gives the cases that he has to be, present for. He has a case, Georgia versus Billy Greg Pruitt, and that's in Jackson County Superior Court, right? That's on March 10th. Then he has another case, Ryan Chandler, and that one is on March 17th, and that's with Judge McAfee in Fulton County. Then he has another case with Zion Shaka, and that one is with Judge Whitaker, and that's in April 14th, right? These are trials now. Then he has another one, Darius Patrick, and that one is in Cherokee County in Georgia. That one is on April 21st. Then he has another one with Mikhail Gunn in Fulton County with Judge Cox. Oh, I love Judge Cox, y'all. That one's April 24th. So he is not able to be at King's trial. He says, based upon the above, please advise whether Mr. King's case can be further noticed and specifically set a trial calendar in May 2025 or beyond, and whether the parties may be excused from appearing for the March 3rd, 2025 through April 25th, 2025 trial calendar. Moreover, please advise whether your honorable court has any availability to hold a hearing on Mr. King's pending motion for bond, as well as a motion for additional discovery in the immediate future. I wait your honorable court's this direction. It is an honor to practice before your court. Sincerely, Brian Steele. You see that, y'all? You guys see that, right? You guys see that? Okay, there is also a motion that he submitted in regards to immunity for Mr. King. And the first immunity request was done back on February 13th by one of the co-defendants. And Mr. Steele adapted to that that motion as well. And I'm going to go ahead and read this. It's a huge safety issue. If he can't hear any... Exactly, Nancy. Exactly. Let me go ahead and take this thing off my thing. Exactly. It is a huge safety issue if he can't hear any danger towards him, whether that's in another inmate, fire alarm, direction from guards. Exactly. Exactly. I agree with you wholeheartedly, and especially with the report that DOJ had on Fulton County, Rice Street. So that's a big problem. That's a big problem. And even, let me tell you guys, even when they had the hearing for him, they had to postpone his hearing because they didn't have someone who did sign language. They had to postpone it when I went to his hearing. Yep, they had to postpone it for... All right, let me go ahead and give you... that is definitely a big problem. Definitely a big problem. But 1 second, let me go ahead on and show you some other things here. Hold on. I want to tell you, one of the defendants that's part of this case, he took a plea deal. And he pleaded guilty. And let me tell you what he pleaded guilty from. This has to be, some attention has to be given into this particular situation because, and I understand, folks, but remember, you're innocent until proven guilty. Who said that he did that? You have to. Okay, let's go ahead on and remember, everyone is innocent until proven guilty, not guilty until proven innocent. We don't know if he actually did that. We don't know. We do not know. But here's the immunity paperwork. So since I have to show you this, hold on. And this will explain some stuff to you guys. Hold on a second. All right, this is his co-defendant, and he has submitted a paperwork for immunity. All right, it says motion for immunity from prosecution. Now come the defendant in the above case by and through his attorney and petition this court pursuant to OCGA 16-3-21, 16-3-23, 16-3-24, and 16-3-24.2 to find his immune to any further prosecution because he was reasonably defending himself and property and others against the alleged victim. Furthermore, defendant petitions this court to hold a hearing for this issue at the soonest possible date so that if he is found to be immune, he is not subject to any further prosecution. See Boggs versus State. Explaining immunity language in OCGA 16-3-24.2. And because this issue must be decided prior to trial, Fair versus State. Defendant also petitions this court to make a factual finding and issue a final decision regarding defendant's immunity under a preponderance of the evidence standard with the burden placed upon defendant. Bunn versus State. Defendant also asks that said hearing be transcribed. Finally, defendant does not waive his right to raise the affirmative defense of self-defense, defense of property, and defense of others under OCGA 16-3-21, 16-3-23, and 16-3-24 at trial. If a trial is necessary because the immunity issue addresses whether the state can continue to prosecute the case, it is an ancillary to defendant's guilt or innocence at trial, which must be determined by a jury under a reasonable doubt standard. Bunn, the 12th day of February, respectively submitted. Marshall W. Magnot. All right, so basically the argument is that he should be immune because he was protecting himself. It was self-defense, protecting himself and protecting his property. So there's a lot to be said in regard to this case. We don't know the specific on it, but Mr. Steele did adapt this as well. And this is what Mr. Steele went and said. Mr. Steele said, motion for pretrial immunity. Now come defendant Gregory King by and through undersigned counsel and hereby files his motion for pretrial immunity in the above referenced case. In support of this motion for immunity, Mr. King shows as follows. Mr. King is innocent of all charges in the above referenced indictment. Number 2, Mr. King hereby respectfully requests that this honorable court schedule a pretrial immunity hearing to determine whether the above referenced bill of indictment must be dismissed and the above referenced case be barred from trial pursuant to the immunity statute codified in OCGA 16-3-24.2, Muse versus State. Number 3, Mr. King assert the defense of self and others. And it has a footnote says, on or about February 12, 2025, co-defendant Lindsay filed a motion for immunity from prosecution. Mr. King joins in this motion. Okay? Wherefore, Mr. King respectfully requests a hearing on this motion, and at the conclusion of the same, ask this honorable court to grant the above request relief, the 25th day of February 2025. Respectively submitted, Brian Steele. All right, so you know Mr. Steele is a goat in these motions and this type of finding errors in the court system, because you know he just won one with Miss Johnson just recently. So Mr. Steele knows his stuff. Mr. Steele knows his stuff. Yep, Nancy. There are some things that, based on what I heard in court in regarding to this hearing, because I went to 2 of the hearings that they had at that on this case, there is some made up factors, because even when the prosecutor, and I guess they did not know he was deaf and mute, because they said, this is the funniest thing, they said that he said something to go get this, and I'm like, wait a minute, this man don't even talk. How did he say that? So it was crazy. It was really crazy hearing the prosecution say certain thing, and they didn't even know the facts of it. No, Love is not the prosecutor on this. It's a lady. It's a young lady. But it was very, very funny. I was like, do they know who they talking about? This man can't speak. So how did he say that? So they're going to have this case is going to be one of those cases that's going to be like not guilty. Seriously. I'm serious. Because some of the stuff they were saying, I'm like, that don't match. That don't match. Giving direction. He's supposed to have been a leader, giving direction. Who's the prosecutor? It's a lady. I don't remember her name. It was a different judge. This is like the 3rd judge on this case. This is the 3rd judge. In fact, he was supposed to get a bond, and the Judge Bennett at the time decided not to give him one because the other prosecutor said not to give him one. And so when the new prosecutor came in and said he was supposed to get a bond because this was her original case, she says no, unless Ms. Willis come down and says to give him a bond herself, then she's not going to give a bond. So that Judge Bennett did not give him a bond. It was crazy, y'all. It was crazy. but he was supposed to get a bond back in June. Yep. So, right now is his brother being held hostage at Rice Street? That's a very good question. No, you didn't say that, Nancy. Nancy said, Nancy's funny. She said they'll probably say his sign language is a gang sign too. That's not funny, but you know what? They probably come up with some mess like that for real. No, they're not able to speak to him because at one point they weren't able to. Because I mean, how can he speak to him unless they do visual visit? You know, like visual visit. So go back and check what I reported in regard to the judge being charged with those 15 charges of not performing her job as a Supreme Court judge. Superior Court judge. She's superior, not supreme. Supreme is the higher one. Superior Court judge. So, and there is no excuse why this man has not even had a hearing for a bond. There's no excuse for that whatsoever. He is entitled to receiving a bond. All right, y'all. That is it for my reporting on this. If you have any question, you guys can. And no questions about whether or not how he speaks to his family, because that's something I don't know. Okay. You said, does he have a long record? Not from my understanding. He in fact, he was on bond. As from my understanding, he was on bond, but because he couldn't answer the phone and take the call, they took away the bond. Something like that. I can't remember exactly how it went. Something like that. I wasn't being funny. If they didn't even know he was deaf and mute, they probably assumed he would. Okay, I got you. They probably thought he was doing something. Oh Lord, it's not right. And how he is expected to tell them with his defense. All right, good people. I'm about to take my butt on off this live. And why would they call him if he can't talk? It does not make sense. Anika. It's a lot to it. You're welcome. Y'all, my knees are hurting. I hit my knees earlier. Lord have mercy. That funny bone is not funny. It's not funny. Yeah, the jail has video calls. They do. My knees hurt. I wonder if anybody's able to explain to him how to do video calls. And you know, those people are so rude, they're not going to even try to help you. We're trying to figure out stuff like that. Ooh, my knees. I hit it so bad, y'all. I hit it so bad. It just hurts. Will there be an update postponed if court is postponed? Yeah, I will be there on Monday, and I will give you guys some 411 whether or not it was postponed. Monday, I'll be there at 9 o'clock to hear what the judge is going to say. Do you think they don't give him a bond because he will be able to post being JWYT brother? I don't know, y'all. I really don't know. But that was one of the reasons they claimed that he was not able to get a bond, because they brought up his brother, the YSL trial. You haven't gotten my notification. That's why you've been missing. You probably have to subscribe and unsubscribe and subscribe back. Maybe that's probably the reason that you're not getting my notification. Shout out to the people in X. Hey, X folks. Y'all never type in here. Why don't y'all type? I heard tonight is supposed to be the fight. Y'all guys watching the fight? I heard it's a fight tonight. Basically, he has a chance, but got revoked. We don't know. We'll have the facts when I come back on Monday. We'll have the facts, because I don't want to say anything that's not correct. So I'd rather just go ahead on and get the information for you guys to bring the correct news. Okay. On that note, I'm about to take my butt on because I got to do something else before I go to bed. I will have to do another live. R.I.P. for Angie Stone. I know everybody was talking about it, such a crazy situation on that. Not a state. Okay. All right, guys. You guys have a great night. Bye.
Thank you for watching the infamous Sylvia channel, where laughter and fun make up our panel. Together we build this digital spree. We appreciate you and our growing family. With mods by our side and chat flowing free in this online space. It's just you and me. We laugh until tears roll down like the rain. In this virtual world, you ease all my pains. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Minds in check, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. We cherish the moments, the highs and lows, from the latest gossip to stories untold. You're more than a viewer, you're part of the crew in this space of ours. It's all because of you. This digital world where emotion is shared, every post and reaction showing we care. The love is real in this virtual domain. With every sign, enjoys what we'll gain. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Minds in check, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Minds in check, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. This digital world where emotion is shared, every post and reaction showing we care. The love is real in this virtual domain. With every sign, enjoys what we'll gain. We're a family, not just a show. Every click